If your real estate marketing efforts are not getting you a ton of new leads and new conversations, new clients, new listings, it's not because you suck at it. It's just you're missing a couple critical parts of the formula. You're missing two tiny pieces that make all the difference in the world that are costing you potentially dozens of deals every single year. Today, I'm going to share with you why most agents' marketing falls flat and how by making a couple little adjustments, you could have your DMs full of leads. You could have conversations happening every single day. I mean, you should be expecting, by making these couple tweaks, 5 to 10 new leads from social media every single week. So if you're sick of posting and hearing crickets, if you're sick of watching the other agent that has much less experience and much less talent than you getting all the deals, then this episode is for you. What is up, guys? Welcome to episode 384 of the Massive Agent Podcast. I am your host, Dustin Brohm, in Salt Lake City, Utah. I am getting ready to go to Reno, Nevada tomorrow morning. So actually, when you hear this, I will already have done this, but I'm speaking in Reno on Tuesday, the 29th, for a big group of agents. There's a lot of cool stuff happening in Reno, and I'm honored and excited to be speaking at that event. By the way, if you are wanting to have me speak at one of your events, if you're doing a real estate event, if you're doing a conference, if you're doing something like that, and you want me to come speak, just go to massiveagentsociety.com/speak and fill out that form, and we'll reach out and see if we can make it work. I love traveling. I love meeting new people. I love speaking at different places. It's one of the most enjoyable things I do. So if you are doing something like that, massiveagentsociety.com/speak, and we'll see if we can work that out. So let's talk about why your marketing is not working. It's not necessarily that you suck at content, but if you're missing a couple things, those couple things could be everything. All right. So first, let's start with why marketing isn't working. Okay. There's a lot of things we blame this on. If you're thinking, well, social doesn't work for me, I don't really get much business from it, I must suck. Nobody likes my personality, whatever. That's not necessarily the case. It's not the algorithm. So let's stop blaming the damn algorithm changes. Okay. It's not the algorithm. It's not the market. It's not that people are not wanting to buy or sell right now. There's deals happening all the time, every day. And by the way, there's two different sides to every deal. So you could always represent one or the other or both. So it's because if your marketing sucks at getting you business, if your marketing just seems to not be working, it's because you're not getting attention effectively. And then once you have it, if you get it, you're not directing it to the right place. You're not directing people where you want them to go. That's it. So we're going to diagnose that problem right now, how to get attention better, and then how to direct that attention to do what you want them to do. Because ultimately you can get a bunch of attention, but then if they don't know what to do next, I mean, sure, you may get some more followers, you may get some more views, and that all feels good, but you're not getting more business, which is the whole freaking point. Let's talk about that first part, getting attention. And I'm mainly talking about video content, right? Doing videos on social. This absolutely, everything I'm about to tell you works for writing an article, writing a text-based post on Facebook or LinkedIn, for example. But what we're talking about really is in the context of video, even though these concepts apply universally with any type of marketing content that you're doing, a podcast or whatever. So to grab attention with anything, a post, an article, a video, you must grab somebody's attention within the first 1 to 2 seconds. I know we say the first 3 seconds. A lot of times you don't have 3 seconds. If you bore people visually and with what they hear in the first second or two, they scroll to the next video. They just flick their thumb a little bit and they're on to the next one. That's just the way it is. So you have to hook their attention in the first 1 to 2 seconds in two ways. You have to do it visually and you have to do it audibly. Okay. So what they see and what they hear. We focus a lot on what to say in our hooks. That's just not enough. All right. So I want you to, I'm not trying to complicate this, but I need you to understand what's happening here psychologically. When your video pops in front of somebody, if you're lucky enough to have your video pop in front of someone in their newsfeed, let's diagnose why they're skipping it, why they're not watching much of it. It's because you bore them in the first second or two with what they see and with what they hear. So what you say matters, of course. Like you've got to say a great hook, but what they see is important too. So that there's got to be some text on the screen. Maybe it's what you're doing. Like, for example, if you're just standing there staring at the camera, that's not, there's nothing really attention grabbing about that. But what if you were standing in front of the camera in front of the state capitol building and that's behind you? That would grab attention. Or maybe it's a waterfall, or maybe you're holding a piece of money that's on fire. Like that, visually, that's going to grab somebody's attention, even if they don't hear you. And by the way, about 80 to 85% of videos supposedly are played on mute. So most of the time, 8 out of 10 times, there's all these studies that show this. Like Instagram has said this specifically. Most videos are being watched on mute. So even if you have a great hook that you say, most people aren't even hearing it. They need to see something that grabs their attention. So the first 1 to 2 seconds, you visually grab them. So first off, that's the thumbnail. If it's YouTube, it's the thumbnail. If they're on your Instagram profile and they're looking for something to watch, it's the thumbnail. If it pops into their feed, they haven't seen the thumbnail, but it's the first few seconds of the video, right? So the first frame or 2 or 3 of the video matters. And then the opening text, what is put on the screen, what they visually see. You're holding some burning money, or you're throwing dirt on, like, this is just random. You're throwing dirt onto a Tonka truck, like just something random. I know you're like, what does that have to do with anything? Exactly. Somebody's going to see it and wonder what's going on here. I don't usually, like, why is dirt being thrown on that Tonka truck? That's probably the most random thing I've ever said in my life. However, now you're getting the point. You need to visually hook somebody. So what's behind you matters. If you just do the content in your office all the time with a white wall behind you, I guarantee nobody's watching your shit. I'm sorry, but they're just not. So what if you just went outside and you had some green trees or a river or a building or cars driving by or something behind you that was just like, it grabs a little bit of attention. So think through, don't overcomplicate it, but think about what people see in the first 1 to 2 seconds and what they hear. What they cannot hear is you introducing yourself. All right. If you're going to effectively grab attention in the beginning of your content, you cannot introduce yourself. Just cut that shit out. I mean, stop doing it. But I know every once in a while I'll talk to an agent. They're like, I'm just so in the habit of introducing myself and my brokerage and blah, blah, blah. Great. If you are, I think it's a ridiculous excuse. Just stop it. Like, just practice and stop doing that. But if you're married to that excuse, record that and then just edit it off. Just chop that introduction off. Don't post that part, and then just start it with whatever you're saying. Just start saying whatever it is you want to say. For most of you, that will fix maybe not fix, but it will dramatically improve your content issues, your lack of performance on social. If you just start saying what it is you want to say and you skip all the, hey, today I want to tell you about, if you drop all that bullshit, your stuff will perform better. You don't have time to tell them what you're going to tell them. Just tell them and then show them. So people scroll fast. If you don't stop that scroll within the first second or two, it doesn't matter how great the rest of the video is. It doesn't matter how much incredible value and insight and information and education and maybe even entertainment that you provide in there, because they're never going to fricking see it. You have to master the first 1 to 3 seconds. And it's not rocket science. This is not complicated. It just takes a little extra thought. So no more introductions. Nobody cares. All right. Just start saying what you want to say. Now, I'm going to give you some examples of some weak hooks and some strong hooks, right? Because there's levels to this. So know where you're at. If you're still introducing yourself and the big thing for you is unlearning that, focus on that. Focus on just not introducing yourself and just start talking about the thing that you want to tell people. If you're at a place where you're not introducing yourself and you're trying to optimize how good of a hook you do, what is it that you say and or show that grabs their attention in the beginning? Well, let me give you some thoughts here. All right. A weak hook is, hey, I have a quick update for you. Here's a market update on this, blah, 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 blah. Hey guys, today I'm going to talk to you about fill in the blank. Like, don't tell them the topic. If you start by saying the topic of the video, that's a weak hook, because what if they don't give a shit? If you want to tell them about FHA loans, what if they don't care? Nobody wants a loan. Nobody wants an FHA loan. They're not getting on social media to hear about FHA loans. Nobody cares. So rather than, hey, guys, today I'm going to talk to you about FHA loans, instead you say, I'm going to show you how to buy $1 million house for just 35 grand. And now everybody's like, what? $1 million house for 35 grand? How the hell do I do that? You grab their attention. They're curious. And then you go on to explain that the way to do that in higher price markets, of course, where the loan limits are that high, in those markets where you have $1 million house, if you use the FHA loan, that's 35 grand out of pocket as a down payment. So you don't tell them, hey, this video is about FHA loans and let me tell you all about it. Grab their attention with what the FHA loan can do for them, the result or the outcome, and then explain the tool that gets it to them, right? The tool that makes that result or outcome possible. If you're thinking about buying a house, stay tuned. Also not so great. It sounds like every other real estate video out there. I'm a local real estate agent, and today I want to talk to you about just stop that stuff. Okay, those are weak. Is better than introducing yourself, but if you're going to do this, let's do it well. Okay, so strong hooks. I just gave you an example. Here's how to buy $1 million house for 35 grand. If you buy a house right now, you could save $15,000, but almost no one knows how. That grabs some serious attention because it makes people curious. Okay, and then you can talk that topic, or sorry, that hook can lead into a bunch of different topics. If somebody buys now, it's going to save them money. That could be, because interest rates will go up, or inflation is going to hurt them over time, or the value of homes, just the price of homes just keeps going up and up and up. You can fit all of that into that hook. The worst thing you can do as a buyer right now is this, and sadly, most agents will never warn you about it. Well, that grabs some attention. Now, there's a trillion different hooks. If you go to my Instagram, click my link in my bio, I have somewhere in my link tree, I have a list of like 100 hooks that you can just copy. Like, just go grab those in my Instagram bio. Just grab my hooks, and you can use the hooks to talk about any topic. All right. Now, the second thing that you're missing, right? The first is you got to grab attention well. I'm going to sum this up. What you're screwing up and what's killing your marketing what is really destroying your marketing is the beginning and the end, the way you start it and the way you end it. So you start it with a great hook, grabbing attention visually and audibly. And then let's talk about ending it. And by the way, what I'm about to share with you doesn't necessarily have to be done at the end. It could be done 15 seconds in. It could be done right in the middle, or right after the intro, right after the hook. It doesn't necessarily mean the end, but usually you're delivering something and then you're telling somebody what to do. Okay. So to end the video well, to end your post well, to master the ending, you need to learn strong calls to action. All this means is you're telling the viewer or the reader what to do next. I see this. If you've been watching my agent video audits on Instagram and TikTok, what are the biggest criticisms that I have? It's agents that do a great job of showing a house, and then the video just ends. And they never tell the viewer what they want them to do. You're the marketer here. What's the point of doing a video if you don't try to direct somebody to a certain place to do a certain thing? Was the goal just to show people like a nice video with great music so that they could be like, that's a nice house? Or is it to hopefully sell the damn house, to get more showings, to get people to your open house, to get DMs saying, give me details? Of course, it's the latter. So a strong call to action tells them what you want them to do next. The number one reason content dies is because people don't know what to do after they watch it. When I say die, the content may perform well. You may get views, but if you're getting views and the analytics look good, but you're not getting any messages, there's no conversations, you're not getting any showings scheduled on that new listing, where you just got 13,000 viewers on that video. That was great, but how come nobody where's everybody? Because you didn't tell them what to do. They had no idea. The people watching that, the 13,000 people who watched that video, had no idea what to do next, because you never told them. Calls to action should be simple, should be low friction, and obvious. So some examples of that. DM me the word tour, and I'll send you a link to schedule a showing. You can put that on the screen. You can say it. You can put it in the caption, or all three. Ideally, all three. Comment the word holiday, and I'll send you a link to this house. I'll send you a link to this home's website. I'll send you the details. I'll send you a list of open houses this week. Click the link in my bio to get the full list of new construction in this neighborhood. DM me a certain word, text a certain word to a certain number. Even as simple as saying, DM me for details is a much better call to action than just letting a video end. Just like doing a great job of grabbing attention, showing this amazing house, having a videographer do it and put it together. And it's really nicely done video. And then it just ends and people have no idea what to do. Don't say contact me, be specific. So it needs to be simple, low friction, and obvious, and specific. Don't say contact me for a showing, contact me for more details, DM me, text me, scan this QR code, comment in a certain word, click the link in my bio. Be very specific and give people one thing to do. Don't tell them 15. That's why contact me for more is ridiculous, because it's like, do I DM them? Do I email them? Do I text them? Do I go to their website? Do I go to frickin' Snapchat? They don't know what to do. When people are overwhelmed with options, they do nothing. Like me at Cheesecake Factory. You go to Cheesecake Factory and you're like, there's 487 different things on the menu. I don't even want anything. Then you go to In-N-Out and you're like, I'll have a double, because you have two options. You want a single or a double. So tell viewers what to do next. This is how you master the end of your video. And again, you don't have to wait till the end, but you get the point. You got to start it and end it well. Start it with a hook that grabs their attention. It keeps it throughout, and then you tell them what to do next. You don't need to have 100,000 views on your videos to start getting a ton of leads. If you can just master grabbing attention and then telling the viewer what to do next if they want that thing or are interested in that thing. And by the way, you don't always have to hard sell. There doesn't always need to be some call to action, right? At least like you don't need to have many chat automation set up for everything. You don't always have to have a lead magnet. You don't always have to be capturing email addresses and phone numbers, but just tell someone what to do. Save this video. Send this video to someone looking for a house in this neighborhood. Send this video to one of your neighbors. It could be as simple as that. Save this video if you thought this home was beautiful. Comment your favorite aspect of this listing. So just tell them something. It doesn't have to be like a lead capture type of call to action, but tell someone what to do next. You'd be surprised that when you just tell someone what to do specifically with one option, how many people actually do it. Interesting. So let's wrap this up. Simple formula. We're not going to overcomplicate this today. There's obviously a lot to it, and there's some practice involved with hooks. Again, go to my Instagram, go to my the link in my bio, click on the 100 hooks thing, and get that. It's a Google Doc with 100 plus hooks that you can use. Like, just steal them all, have at it. Grab attention, deliver some value, direct people where to go and what to do. It's not much more complicated than that. Now, there'll be parts of it that you suck at in the beginning, but that's okay. Like, you're going to be so much better. Your content will perform so much better. Even if the numbers, the analytics don't necessarily change, you're going to notice a few more DMs, a few more comments, a few more conversations happening, a few more clicks to your website are happening. And that's what really matters. It's not the follower count or the views. I mean, those are important, but they are not the most important thing. Wouldn't you rather just have your view count stay the same, but the number of DMs and conversations and leads 5x'd? Of course, I would. And by the way, if you're struggling with that, that is the correct answer. The leads, the business should be the goal, not the social media vanity stuff. Hook their attention, give them value, tell them what to do next. If you can get that right, if you can nail that formula, you will beat 99% of other agents on social. We overcomplicate the hell out of it. Look, and I do. I overcomplicate every single piece of content that I do. So I have to remind myself of simple frameworks like this. Hook their attention, give them value, tell them what to do. Attention, value, direction. I have to remind myself of that so that I don't get into the weeds, so that I don't start overthinking. And I just think, okay, if I just nail this, then this, then this, it doesn't have to be perfect, put it out and then do it again. If you get this right, attention, value, and direction, you will beat 99% of other agents on social as far as it being effective at getting you new business. You may not become this big influencer with 120,000 followers. Who cares? Like, that's good. It's not a bad thing. We all want that. There's value in that, obviously. But if you just start to get a bunch of business from what you're already doing, all of a sudden you're going to love social media a lot more. You're going to freely want to do more of it, of course, because you know that it moves the needle. You know that social media can be one of the 20%, part of the 20% that brings you 80% of the results. You really don't need better marketing ideas. You just need a better first second and a clearer next step. Just focus on the beginning and the end of your videos, of your posts. Nail that. What they see in the beginning, what they hear in the beginning, deliver some good stuff in the middle, and then tell them what to do next. Tell them about that house, how they get more information, how they can schedule a showing. Maybe you want them to just leave a comment. Maybe send that video to a friend. Just tell people what to do next. Don't overthink it. And social media will, I almost said can, social media will start bringing you a ton more business than you're getting now. 5 to 10 leads per week from social should be an expectation once you really start to get the hang of this. I appreciate you guys listening this week. If you found value in this, share this episode with your broker, with a team leader, with an agent friend of yours. Post it in your brokerage's Facebook group or workplace chat. Help me get the word out, because there's so much bad real estate marketing out there. There's so many sellers and buyers that are being underserved because their agents don't understand how to be effective marketers. Well, we can fix that. And by the way, I'm trying to decide if I even say this. I think this is so obvious to me anyways, but I remember when I first got into real estate, and I used to think, because my mentor taught me this, and plus I thought this way naturally, I'm like, well, I can't let other agents see what I'm doing because they might steal my ideas. What a ridiculous, like, holding good information that's going to help someone grow their business back from others is so short-sighted. It's just rooted in scarcity. And no winners think that way, by the way. Nobody who's actually winning thinks that way. So if you're thinking, hey, this podcast was good, but I don't want to share it with agents in my office because they might start to, are you kidding me? Are there 2 homes in your town? There's so much business to go around. And by the way, most of the people you share it with, they're not going to do this shit anyways. You're probably not going to do this. The stats show you're probably not going to do this either. You may try it once or twice and like, oh, okay. And you make a little incremental improvement. I'm sorry, but that's just what the stats show. Most agents just won't do this consistently, which means if you're one of those few that does, you could send it out to every agent in your market. It's not going to threaten you or affect your business negatively at all. In fact, it elevates you and your status in their eyes. Plus, you're just coming from a place of abundance. There's a little rant I wasn't expecting. Before we wrap it up, guys, keeping current matters is a tool that you need with so much uncertainty, with tariffs and interest rates and the economy and inflation and all this stuff happening. How incredible is it that just by having keeping current matters, you can have experts and economists in your pocket telling you exactly what's happening, when it's happening, how it affects buyers, how it affects sellers, and what to tell your buyers and sellers. KCM is the advisor that, what was I going to say? Keeping Current Matters turns you into an advisor that your clients trust and seek and refer. If you are an advisor, an educator, you are in demand. People don't need just another real estate salesperson to open doors. So by being educated on what KCM gives you, the data and the insights and the scripts that KCM gives you, you become an in-demand advisor, and that's how you grow your business dramatically. Go to trykcm.com/BAM right now and see what I'm talking about. KCM is already being used by most of the top producers in your market. I guarantee it. You need it as well. It's going to elevate your business. Try kcm.com/BAM. And then BAMX over on School. Now they just opened up their School community. BAMX courses, masterminds, referral network, events, training, networking, you name it. They give you content in a box every single week, give you scripts and posts. BAMX is incredible. Go to massiveagentsociety.com/BAMX to see what I'm talking about and take advantage of one of the most powerful platforms in real estate. Thank you so much for listening this week. Share this episode with every freaking agent on the planet. Show that you don't come from scarcity. Show that you think abundantly, because they're not going to do it. You will. And I can't wait to hear about your results. Thanks so much for listening, guys. Take care.